I'm doing it now then. Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Yo.
We're,
Hey.
being so alive. Hello and welcome to the Inconsolables podcast, episode 252. I am not Paul, I'm Andrew.
Hi, I'm also not Paul. I'm Sam.
I'm thirdly not Paul, and I'm Mrs. Lulante.
And 404 Paul not found. But we have a guest.
He's also
Hello,
not
Zach.
Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Everybody wants to be Paul.
I'd love to be Paul. His skill at the Hunt Showdown is fantastic. Check out his streams, everyone.
It's terrifying.
Unfortunately for everyone else, I'm Zach. He's a stuck
Unfortunately
with
for
me.
everyone
Wrecked.
Purely because Lockie was too busy. He was the better option, that's for sure.
Well, actually, because Charlie was busy, because she was the first option and then she cancelled at the last moment. Love you.
That's right. I'm the third best option.
Oh, that's so rough.
Oh, I mean, that's not even what I was thinking. I was like literally last night while I was on Zach's show. So I'm just like at the end, like, hey, our guest pulled out. What do you want to come on?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is really
And so
nice.
after Zach and Lockie fought to the death, Zach won, and here we are.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Yeah.
nice to be guesting on a podcast for the second time this weekend because yes, I certainly didn't host news to reviews.
Oh, okay, sure.
Andrew did that for me, thankfully.
Yeah.
Because
There's a little bit of a
that issue-
takeover situation.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. We're bringing them down from within. Also, by
Yeah.
the way, did you like that one theme that I sent you that
I
had
liked-
the telegraph noise in it?
I liked all the themes that you sent me. They were all fantastic. I think my favorite though was the first one. I think that was my favorite for sure.
So not the one with the hidden encoded message.
I did like the
Awesome.
I did like the telegraph thing. I liked what you were going for there with the news sound. That was fantastic for sure.
Yeah.
Did you tell him what was the subliminal message in that?
It was in the podcast, wasn't
It's
it?
in the episode,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Did you listen to the episode?
I don't know what you're talking.
Put him on the spot.
Subliminal
Oh,
message? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I basically
Yeah.
I went to like a convert to telegraph thing and just put in listen to the Inconsolables in Morse code.
No way.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's
It did kinda
fantastic.
work.
the
Yeah,
news
you just
ticker is listen to the Inconsolables.
I wonder what like the generic like news ticker thing is though. Like do they have subliminal messages and it's just like listen to the news? But in
Are we able
telegraph?
to reverse that and find out?
No, I don't
mean,
think there's
yeah.
any
I
way
could, but it can't be
mainstream
asked.
media would be trying to influence us to think in any specific way.
No.
No,
No,
not at all.
they're
happen.
totally unbiased.
Yeah, something,
Perfect.
something. Anyway,
They lose.
we are off the rails already, and it's glorious. Zach, could you let people know where they can find you?
I thought maybe we were in a pre-show. I don't know what's going on.
No, we're straight into the show.
Promotion.
We're
I'm
in.
sorry.
No,
No, don't even.
Oh,
I'm very
that's the wrong
hungover.
promotion.
You can find news to reviews anywhere that you can find podcasts,
Uh,
basically.
hold
Yeah,
on.
bloody Spotify, iTunes, and you can also hit us up on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Twitter's probably the best place to keep track of everything we're doing, and our Twitter handle is @news2reviews, and that's with a number 2 instead of the word 2. Yeah, check us out. We have the Inconsolables pop on by a whole lot to talk games with us and whatnot. I always love those episodes, and yes, I always love when I get to appear on here. Thus, I'll do so even when I have not slept and I drank copious amounts the night before.
Sounds like me
Yeah, that-
after I had painkillers.
I mean, it seems that I'm the common thread here, because it's always a sloppy episode when I'm around, and painkillers were my fault. Am I just making everyone fail through alcohol? Is that what's happening here?
Hey, the cocktail making definitely it was an influence that I got from you. That is for sure, Andrew. Oh,
Does help.
100%.
Whoops.
Yeah, the painkiller definitely it doesn't work as a painkiller the following day. That's for sure.
I mean, something hair of the dog. I mean, maybe it does. I haven't tried it with a painkiller, but
Oh, dear me. Stick with the energy drink for now. Oh,
yeah. I mean, probably should go with like a Gatorade or something, right?
probably.
Gatorade.
Or a Powerade or equivalent, you know.
Water's better. Gatorade.
I mean, just lots of water also works.
Are you alright?
Water is better. I don't know.
Are you
I don't-
simping for Gatorade? What's happening? Or water or something? Or
I
happening?
had my vaccine yesterday, and I had no sleep last night, so I'm in Zacky's boat.
Delirium.
I went to bed. Well, I was tired, and I pushed through it because I didn't want to be waking up like super early or in the middle of the night, and I might have overdone it because I had these weird, trippy, disgusting, weird nightmares. I was constantly getting hot and then cold and then hot and then cold, and then my cat wanted attention.
Yes, no.
And I got Jimmy legs. I don't know
Up
if
and
anybody
up
else has
again.
ever had Jimmy legs, but it sucks.
What?
I don't know
what the
heck
is
that means.
Wait, is that a medical condition or a candy? What's
No,
happening?
it's a medical condition.
Okay.
That's the colloquial term.
Not like sprinkle legs or something?
So what happens is it's called Restless Leg Syndrome. So you
Oh,
okay.
absolutely have to move your legs. Like, you can't ignore it. It's almost like a tick, and you have to move your legs. And
Okay.
it's painful if you do not move your legs. So
I didn't know that was a thing or that there was a name for it. That's me about
Jimmy
70%
legs.
of the time.
Thank you. Oh,
So,
Jimmy legs.
oh,
is
that was
a-
me
Uh,
throughout like all of
colloquial.
school. Oh, all the time I'd be doing
I'm
that.
doing that right now.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just like boing, 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 boing. And Shay's called me out on it too. She's like, "Why are you
Yeah.
moving your feet?" I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it doesn't do."
Yeah.
can relate.
So I get it really bad at nighttime, and
Oh.
I have like lymphedema in my family line, which is some sort of like knee swelling thing. So I get Jimmy legs
yeah.
when I'm
I-
sleeping.
I feel
You're
like
having
we're
a
not
great
quite
time.
in the same boat because you're doing the right thing to protect yourself and the ones around you, and I was just being a fool and poisoning myself.
Hey, I
Yeah.
poison myself plenty. And technically, I did poison myself because I'm injected with a virus.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Something 5G.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Perfect.
internet should pick up because all four of us, the kids, got done because we got
Yeah.
Anastasia Palaszczuk was like, it's Super Pfizer Sunday, and all of the
Right.
COVID clinics in Queensland were open for walk-ins this weekend.
Buy one get one free.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, okay.
so it was.
So
only
you
about
have a local network, like a very strong local network at the moment.
30-day
It was an
money-back
hour
guarantee.
wait,
Oh God.
Ooh.
so
Fun.
and that was a good wait apparently. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Yay,
got super lucky
Queensland.
when I went for my first shot. Like I had maybe 15 minutes waiting, and then again 15 minutes in observation at the end. But I guess, and then I saw people in the same day in another location stuck for waiting for hours. So I guess I just happened to get a place where the competent people were doing their thing. I don't know.
The
Harsh.
place where the competent people. Nice.
I mean, it seemed like it. Like it seemed like well-oiled machine at the place I went to.
Ooh,
So-
yeah, when I got my first shot of AstraZeneca is when like it was going expired and they were having to chuck it out, so they were just like slinging that stuff on the street, just left, right, and center. Like they got
Oh,
me in there
jeez.
so quickly, and yeah, I was in and out, and like they just 15 minutes of waiting afterwards to make sure I didn't like die on the spot or whatever. I'm not the one in 500,000 or whatever it is meant to be that can possibly get a blood clot. I don't know, but yeah. I was all good until later on, and then bloody I suffered the symptoms of fever and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm pumped to get my second shot and get it out of the road. Oh dearie me, can't wait.
Yes, please. We should probably talk about video games, eh?
Video games.
It's quote unquote what we're here for. So I guess let's get
Apparently.
into our good/neutral news. And our first topic, Sammy.
Yeah, so the Switch got Bluetooth audio, and like everyone's just like, yeah, like we should have gotten this fucking ages ago. I
Yes.
don't know about you, but I've seen like Kickstarters for, I think it was called like Denture or something. That's like a little thing that you can put into the
I
bottom.
backed it and I have it.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to back it. and I
Did
was
you
like,
use it?
Yes.
Well, now you do,
But
now
it's
you
like
don't have to.
no, don't have to. I mean, I probably still will because I mean, of all the caveats that go with the inbuilt one.
Yeah, so like one of the like weird caveats is that like you can only have 2 wireless controllers when you're doing the Bluetooth stuff, which I guess suggests that it's running on Bluetooth. So that's kind of been like, people have been speculating that that's why they didn't just like launch with it, and they've spent a bunch of time umming and ahhing about it. Kind of dumb.
A bunch of time. We're talking a few years, right? Like when did the Switch come out?
That's a bunch of time.
2017.
Yeah, it has
4
been
years.
a wee
Shit.
bit.
4 years.
hard to believe it's been 4 years.
It's
I mean, 2 of
been
those
4
years have
years
been
since I looked at you.
2 of those years have been
Alright.
kind of off by default, though. So
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to my
Really?
Because
Switch.
we just don't
Pro
talk
LED.
about them.
I mean, we're still in them, right?
Yeah. I can't wait
But-
for 2020 in 3 months' time.
You just get to a point where, like, you look at a history book 100 years in the future, you just got, like, a stretch of time where there's
Cancelled.
just nothing. And it's just like, yep,
Yeah.
time just stopped
It's-
between 2020 and
Yeah,
20XX.
like that one time when they started using the Gregorian calendar and they just skipped like half a month or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But like with 2 years. I'm hoping that, like, you know, when 2022 comes around and everyone goes, oh, it's going to be better because it's the new year, that it's actually, to a certain extent, actually fucking better. God's sake. Because I remember, like, all the people being like, oh, 2021, it's going to be fucking amazing. You know, it's not for me.
No, I remember in 2016 being like,
Yeah.
surely the years can't get worse than this. What a rough year 2016 was, but wow.
You ain't seen nothing yet, boy.
I feel like we can
Yeah.
at least have like a brief break so
What
that,
was
you know.
2016 again?
I think there was also a lot of celebrity deaths, wasn't it?
Yeah,
A lot of celebrity deaths. I don't know. Trump was elected, which
that
that doesn't help.
non-aesthetic.
that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That
it
was a situation.
It was a
Yeah.
weird year.
We need
Yeah,
we
no-
need to have a mildly good year so that, you know, when 2023 is like way worse, we can like properly appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, time. I'm calling a timeout. We need a timeout on disasters,
I'm
please.
not sure if I'd recommend that.
Just half time. Give us a break.
I've played Quantum Break.
Oh, jeez.
Not a good idea.
Now, excuse me if I completely missed this as well too, but with the Bluetooth audio, you also can't use the Bluetooth, like a Bluetooth headset, right? You can't use a microphone tied to Bluetooth audio. Did you mention that already?
We
Oh, is
didn't.
that
So
it?
yeah,
But,
just like typical Nintendo, there's multiple asterisks to this new feature in inverted commas that they've brought in. something that
old
we've had
feature.
in so many other devices. But yeah, so not only that, you can't do like local wireless multiplayer. So if you're trying to do that with multiple switches, you can't use Bluetooth audio as well too. So there's just so many different little bits and bobs that just makes it slightly more difficult. It's very. It's
You know why they're doing
Nintendo.
that though, right? They're making sure that nobody's cutting into the market for those stupid fucking Splatoon things that you'd hook up to your phone that you couldn't like turn your phone off during or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, that app.
Oh yeah, their app where if you locked your phone while using their communications app, it would just cut off your call.
Oh wow.
Because Paul and I tested that when it first came out, because we were playing Splatoon 2 at the time, because it was like the only multiplayer Switch game. I mean, yeah. So in the end, we just jumped back to Discord on the phone because that one works. Also, just as a side note, it's not difficult to like allow your phone to do audio in the background on a code thing. I did it for the first time last week on my iOS day job. It's literally check a tick box. And it's like, yep, now your audio can play when the app's closed.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which makes it a million
Nintendo.
times worse that YouTube charges to have that feature.
That's true.
Yeah. They just want you to pay. Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
Wasn't that meant to be good / neutral?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's good that they finally done a thing.
Maybe it's
We can turn anything into a complaint. You've
sarcastic
listened to us enough, Zach.
sarcasm.
Yeah,
suffice
certainly.
to say, there are a couple that are in like the good / neutral that are basically not good / neutral. It's just like
Yeah.
they're weirdly
Less
in the
bad.
middle.
They're less. Well, that's
Yeah.
why we call it neutral, right?
Yeah,
But it's-
okay. Yeah,
Well, we're gonna have bad news and then less bad. Like, here's all the shit stuff, and here's all the less shit stuff,
We're gonna have just like 20 different categories.
and it's all just like varying scale of bad to worse.
I mean, isn't that like the best way to describe the news?
I mean, why do you think we end with "Why is this a thing?" That's here's a dog on a skateboard to send you home happy.
Or confused.
Both.
Either or.
Confused but happy. I mean, I'd be happy by a dog on a skateboard.
That's the only
Anyway.
way to be happy, to be confused.
Works. All right. Give us our release update one-liners, yeah?
All right, sure. I'm trying to like awkwardly like both manage my fucking stream bullshit, and do the show. So because someone in my chat was just like, "Can I do feedback?" I'm like, title didn't change.
This is why you need to turn off those things when we're doing a podcast stream.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Well,
God.
no, that was just someone in my chat. Anyway.
Oh, it wasn't
I'll
a
shut up.
channel report. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So Darkest Dungeons entering early
Yes.
access. So I thought you'd be jazzed about that on Epic Game Store. So,
Yeah, I'm less jazzed about that part, but the thing with Darkest Dungeon 1, I didn't play till it was fully out either. And I still haven't finished Darkest Dungeon 1. So
Yeah.
this is just a kick up the butt to like
Do
go
you
finish
finish Darkest Dungeon? Like,
that. There is an ending. You
I
can.
know there is an ending, but do you have to finish it?
I would like to.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that I want to finish a difficult game shouldn't be a factor on you.
Yeah,
Like, you sound upset that I want to finish a game.
you don't want your sanity.
That's long gone.
Yeah, like come on, keep up. Dying Light 2 got nudged to February 2022, which is gonna get fucking busy.
Mm.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit annoyed, but you know,
Wait,
insert Nintendo bad games bad forever, delayed game can be good, etc thing. Deltarune dropped this week, and I have not
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
I wanted to play it, but like I haven't had a chance
Time.
to, but like I was gonna play it on a fucking stream, and then it was just like, oh, actually it's coming out not today, it's coming out tomorrow. A lot of
Oh,
time zones,
America.
fucking
Yep.
time zones.
I know. I hate it when
Fucking
people are
hate it.
like, released on this day, but don't give a time zone. Motherfuckers, give the time zone. Not that
That's
fucking
just an
hard.
that's just an excuse to pick the latest time zone in existence if they're not quite ready. If they need to push it another hour.
Oh.
That's
I'm
like
still salty at Evil Genius for the shit that they pulled.
Yeah.
that's like the one advantage, apart from all the other advantages of doing games journalism, is you get an embargo. So you're like, oh, it's coming out at this time because they don't want anyone talking about it before this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Weird and shit.
Fun.
Tokyo Game Show happening end of the month. Couple of
Yes,
people
that'll
have
be
put their
interesting.
hands up for that. And lots of updates with Game Pass. There's a
Mhm.
bunch of cool shit coming out this month. We've already
Mhm.
had Origami and Superliminal, which I thought was fairly good.
Ooh,
And
Superliminals.
Skateboard. Yep.
Superliminal the game. Which one was Superliminal?
It is the perspective puzzle
Yeah, it's
game.
a really weird perspective
Yeah.
puzzly one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was confusing it with something else, but it looks like something I want to play. Like, crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Like, I mean, like, I had like little issues here and there with just like that there's only so much creativity you can have with a system like that. But like they kind of had some good puzzles and shit. So like I was into it.
Yeah.
Rainbow Boy, my son really enjoyed it because it was on Humble. So I had
Yeah.
a copy from Humble, and he got really shitty from one puzzle, and we were helping them, and it was a stupid
it was
puzzle.
the apple.
It's one we got to look forward and then backwards and forwards and then backwards again, or something like that.
Oh, the two separate like hallways. Is that
Yeah,
one?
something
one
like
pissed me
that.
off.
So, because it wasn't like everything else, at least had some kind of hint or idea of what you're meant to do. Whereas this one, we just brute forced it with them.
Yeah, it was confusing
Fair.
to me as well. Not a massive fan of that. Yeah, a bunch of other cool stuff's coming. Sable and Subnautica Below Zero
Ooh.
coming out on the 23rd. Lemnis Gate, Unsighted. Don't know what the fuck those two are, but sure. And yeah, all the more
It's like-
reason for Zach to get a PC.
Yeah,
Ask for
hurry
one
up.
for his
Oh,
birthday.
I've got
Effing
my
chat.
30th coming up soon, and I may or may
How
not
soon?
be getting a PC, possibly.
Tell the chat so everyone can just send you like I don't know vouchers for PC shit. I'll
Well,
probably-
someone may or
send
may
you,
not
like-
have already ordered a mechanical keyboard, so
Yeah, I'll add
Oh.
like I'll like throw in like Steam gift cards or whatever. But well, actually, no, I won't do that. What I'll do is I'll just like be like, these are all the games you should play, and just be like, I will dictate what you play.
Just like a gift.
Wait, have you played
Whatchamacallit,
Undertale?
Game Pass.
Because I know that's on consoles and shit. So you don't have a fucking excuse.
I played it. I played it on Switch, and I did not finish it. I really loved the writing. I thought the writing in Undertale was fantastic. It was like great, but just I don't know. I just kind of got sick of the sort of gameplay. I should have stuck it out. I'm pretty sure I got like 3/4 of the way through, but I don't know. I just lost it.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not the host of this call, so I can't boot you out. So,
and I am not inclined to boot him out for that because I had a wonderful time with Undertale and its fans. So,
oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, this is the best game on the planet, and you need to experience it completely untainted. So here, we're going to ruin every plot twist for you and solve every puzzle.
Perfect.
Fucking bastards. Anyway.
Not that hard. Fuckwits.
Yeah. That's and for that reason, I'm not touching either of the Deltarune games. You can get fucked. No.
Just do them off stream.
Yeah,
it's like the stupid Scotsman. They ruined Scotland. It's the same situation here.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there was more delays. I don't know. Or do you have those later in the doc and I've just missed them?
I mean,
No, we didn't cover all of them.
Go off.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was delayed from
whatever.
from the 5th of October to the 4th of November.
It looks
cute. It comes out on my birthday.
It looks cute, but like I'm almost certainly not going to play it because like it looks crap.
It's got cat dog in it. Take my money.
So
whatever.
Yeah.
As I said,
true.
it looks cute and it's nostalgic, but it looks like it's also going to be like dog shit. Because
Got
like
Helga
literally,
from Hey Arnold. Just take my money.
Cool.
Whatever. I don't.
Yeah,
It got me. It's shit.
I mean, you can play as Reptar, can't you?
You can play as what, the Dad Thornberry, whatever his name is.
Nigel
Yeah.
Thornberry.
Yes.
Smashing.
I mean, I also played Young
He
Justice,
does not say
the
that
video
during
game, and it was
combat,
literally
or-
the worst thing ever. So.
Yep. But then also,
Well, not the worst,
Battlefield
the worst.
2042 was delayed as well too, which I don't care about. But some people they're
Sure,
anticipating
whatever.
that one. But it's
I might
coming
play
out
it
in
one day.
November now.
I feel so sad for them that they.
I mean, was it November that Endwalker was coming, Mrs. L? I know it was within the next month or two.
Endwalker's coming out November 13th.
Yeah. So Battlefield 2042 doesn't exist. Sorry,
whatever.
Endwalker.
Bye.
And Walker. It's so
and
funny
Walker.
because I was talking all about Final Fantasy for like a lot of like 2019 and 2020, and everyone was like, and now Andrew's into it.
And now I'm the only
Yeah,
person
but
who's
for
still
whatever-
doing
and Paul's
that.
into it, and
I
Sammy's
can't
like,
remember.
"Eh."
I can't remember what the
Yeah, I
reason
get
was, but there was something else I was playing, and I couldn't justify an MMO at the time. It may have been. I may have been.
Well, at least for
No,
a bit.
Warframe was this year. It may have been Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I think that's when it was.
That seems to line up
Yeah,
time wise.
Everyone just got obsessed with MMO. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. We're all fucking, excited to live in a world that is not this one.
Yeah, a world where I can live out my best Catboy dreams. Anyway.
What about your best dreams of going outside for a bit?
No.
Yeah. All right,
Seeing
let's move on.
Hey.
Nvidia leaks. Woo!
Oh boy.
What?
So Nvidia GeForce Now is like their streaming service, and someone was able to get a list of games / software off of they did some shenanigans and were able to get hold of it, and they even provided instructions for people to get their own lists of it.
Wow.
Nvidia have actually come out and said, yes, this is a list of stuff we have, but it's also like a lot of it includes a lot of speculative titles, or
Okay.
there's a whole lot of
Good
the
cover
we
up.
assume we assume there'll be a sequel to this, so we'll pop this in the titles, all that kind of stuff. But take it all with a sack of salt. But it name drops things like a PC port of God of War, a PC port of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think they name dropped like Kingdom Hearts 4.
Okay.
Again, see, speculative, because you'd expect there to be another Kingdom Hearts game. There will be another Kingdom Hearts game, and Zach leaves at the mere mention of Kingdom
Right.
Hearts.
Photoshop?
Yeah, it's also just got software
yeah.
there and stuff as well, right? So it's like, because Nvidia handle the drivers for stuff, they get access to games way ahead of us. You know, there's always a compatibility update for your Nvidia drivers whenever a game goes live.
Sure.
And so, you know, a lot of the time you'll find shit like that. And that's why people are speculating that, you know, this is not necessarily 100% bullshit, you know?
World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft updates. Again, this isn't a list of just upcoming stuff. It's like a list of stuff they have support for and like support profiles for. Which is why you're going to see stuff that exists, but there's a bunch of stuff that isn't. For example, Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is one that's mentioned there, has never been mentioned anywhere by any news. And then, you know, Final Fantasy 16 on PC. Again, potential God of War. There's a lot of stuff there, and there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense. For example, there's one of them that's called Andrew 2. And I have not been informed.
Cool.
So I'm going to be collecting my royalties.
There's 5,749 entries.
Yeah, there's a
Wow,
lot.
That's a little excessive.
Yeah, there's an entire like GitHub thing, like document that has this big table.
Is
So
there
if
any-
you want to have a look,
Legends
we
is
can
on
put the
there.
link in.
Someone should tell them that game's dead.
Yeah, see, it's just stuff they've got entries for.
Is there any support for the Switch Pro in there?
I mean, maybe the PS5 Pro. But this is all PC stuff. It's GeForce, man. Anyway,
Whatever.
that's a thing. That's
gonna
a thing.
Sit here and pretend that I care. Bye.
Hey, God of
Yep.
War. God of War is awesome. It's coming to PC now. So
I've already played.
Here's
it.
hoping.
hopefully, if it look, we've seen it happen with a whole bunch
I'll
of
play
Sony
it.
exclusive games now. It happened with Horizon. I think it's happening with Days Gone. It happened with
Yeah.
Death Stranding as well too.
PCs,
So
PS4 is finally getting their head out of their ass.
yes, I'm glad that like PC players can give God of War a crack because it's my favorite game of all time. I love it so much. I'm so pumped for the sequel. So
Also, no mention of Bloodborne in that list. Just so
it's gonna hurt.
Rip.
at all. So
Maybe that's what Andrew is. Maybe they just know.
Oh,
how
maybe that's what
excited
Andrew 2
we
is.
are
That's
for that.
Andrew 2 is Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2.
Because I had Andrew 1 further down the list, so I'm very confused. I didn't realize I was an AI, but I guess this is how I've learned. Something Matrix 4.
Or are they just being really nice to you and just doing support stuff specifically for your computer that they just like kind of send over?
Oh.
It's like, oh, they're looking out for you.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they have had issues with NVIDIA broadcasts lately,
Why would-
so
Why won't you accept the
You know.
corporation's love?
yeah.
Anyway,
Something Blizzard. That's why. Okay, so let's talk about Nier Cogito for a bit. So Nier Cogito was a game
so
that
this is the first of the two that are kind of in the intersection of like naughty and not
Positive.
naughty.
Yes, so this was a game, Nier fan game that my friend made, and I streamed it a few weeks back, and it was for a fan contest, which was, make content related to Nier Reincarnation, their mobile game, and we'll give you a shout out on social media, etc., etc. Well, my friend Silver Stitch, they won. They actually won the contest. That's the good
No
news.
surprise there. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Good.
The bad news is lawyer slapping. So
This is so
technically,
stupid.
technically, they followed all the rules, right? You've got to create your own content related to Nier, etc., etc. Problem is, it's a fan game, and Square doesn't like that. The whole Borderlines. The whole borderline.
Right.
It made Kotaku News 2 days ago. Yes, Lee, it did, and that's where I pulled the article from. My friend did send me that, because, I know the guy who wrote it. Anyway, that's a whole thing. The short version of the story is they're not going to take the game down because he didn't break any of their rules, but they're also not going to shout him out on social media, which was the prize. The prize was exposure.
I
So
in looking into it, because I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck, why? And they were like, you can't use the lawyers come back and they say you can't use the logo and it can't be a downloadable exe because we can't guarantee the safety of it. And so he was like, all right, and like crunched to fix that within 24 hours or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
He got it into like a browser version, and they were still
Did a
like,
browser
"Oh."
version
Yeah.
and removed everything. And then they were still like, yeah, nah.
Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck is
pretty
the point
much.
of that? Like, why? be like, oh, you can do like any kind of artistic thing that your mind desires, and then like you're like,
You made a game, no.
Actually, no.
And I mean, looking at some of the other
Dumb,
stuff
I
that
hate
was
it.
like some of the other stuff that was entered in that contest, you got your fan art, your written stories, all that
And
kind
they're
of
the ones
stuff.
that got
And
shouted out because, like, well, you can't put a virus in
couple-
an image.
A
It's
couple
like,
of them were websites with like information from the game, like your wiki, like some a fan made wiki of the game, and how to win at game, and like
okay, that's
they weren't
kinda
slapped
dumb.
down.
That's not. I mean, I guess that
So-
is fan content.
Yes, but I mean, so was it like
Yeah, but-
gone and like he'd gone and he wrote the game, he wrote the script, he'd paid a musician to make the music for the game, that
And he
kind of
did it in
stuff, right?
3 weeks.
And did in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
Give the man a job.
yeah,
Like, for fuck's sake.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
not sure why they would
Anyway,
put judge-
annoying and dumb and stupid, but
judge-
but- Cogito did win.
Yay.
Yeah.
And if you haven't played Nier Cogito, give it a look. It is basically a text adventure, but it's really
Yeah.
freaking good.
The good news is now a bit, like, more people know about it, but more just from like Square being fucking idiots.
Yeah.
So, not quite what we're going for, but it sort of works. I don't know.
Yep. All right, moving on.
So
Sammy.
this is my contribution into the good neutral, but also kind of naughty news, because I kind of forgot to cover this last time. So here's the good news. Lake was refused classification in Australia, and that decision has been reversed, and it's now rated
Whoa.
R.
Right.
The unfortunate thing is, why the fuck was it ever refused classification? It is exceedingly wild to me. So for those of you who have not seen this is a game that I first came in contact with because it was featured in the Wholesome Direct. This game that is now rated R18.
Yep.
So
What the fuck?
so the whole, let me just kind of explain what this game is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Honestly.
Lake is a game in which you're playing as this woman who I want to say, I don't remember the name of the character off the top of my head. I think it's Meredith or something that pops to my mind for some reason. Who may or may not be lesbian. Who is a big software developer in, I think, like the late 80s, early 90s, and she decides to return to her hometown and just kind of decides to just do postal service in this nice community. And it's a very chill game. And yeah, you just kind of go around and delivering posts. And also I kind of found it boring. But like it has, a very kind of like Stardew Valley-esque kind of energy. A little bit more kind of mature, obviously, because R18. And yeah, the idea that this was fucking refused classification is wild. As you can probably take a wild guess, the reason it was refused classification is because a person has a jazz cigarette and does not immediately, explode or something, and that apparently is too, is pushing the agenda of do drugs, kids, or whatever.
It's
the fuck
too
they're calling
spicy
it.
for Australia.
Yeah,
A
it's
jazz cigarette?
I mean, like it's weird. They're obviously stoners. Like they have like a bunch of characters, and one of them's just like living out of a caravan and like is clearly doing weed and stuff. I mean, they also have like another character that like I think like bets on shit illegally or something. Actually, I don't even think it was that bad. I think it was like he bets on stuff, but since he uses the postal service somewhere in that transaction, like technically he's breaking the law. So it's like it's not even like a big deal. So I don't know, like fucking Australia's classification has always been a fucking joke, and this is just like the furthest that they've gone outside of reality to do their bullshit. But I guess it's been reversed. But even then, once again, R18 for a game where you go to a nice community around a lake and deliver the post, like it's fucking unhinged.
And you could still play it on Steam apparently too, right? Like it was just on
Yeah.
Xbox that you couldn't. So
I think it's literally just Steam doesn't give a fuck. I don't know how the fuck they get away with it, but
I think there's some weird technicalities with like digital only, but if they try to make a physical edition, because that's what happened with Disco Elysium. is that it didn't need to get classified at all until they were making physical editions for consoles, and then it had to get sent to the board, and then it got banned and then unbanned, and that whole dance.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a mess.
It sucks.
Our classification board's a mess.
Yep.
It's shit. Speaking of shit, we've reached an Naughty Corner now.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's talk about an NFT game.
Yeah.
And thanks Lee for sending me this article earlier this week. Fucking hell. So somebody made an NFT game where you can, quote unquote, blockchain based game. It's called Epic Hero Battles. Apparently runs on the Ethereum network, which is, another cryptocurrency.
Oh, is it Cookie Mama 2 or whatever?
No, it should be though. Maybe it's running on the Cookie Mama network.
It's so wild, that whole Cookie Mama thing, because you can literally still just buy it in the store. I've gone to a bunch of stores and was like, oh my god, they have it. And then the fifth time I was like, oh, is this just
just everyone has it. No one took it off the shelves. They took it off digital.
Was this all a marketing stunt? Did we just fall for marketing? It was Cookie Mama and their bullshit.
I mean, did you buy it?
No.
Then you didn't fall for it, right?
No, I looked into it later on. Apparently, it was just a really poorly optimized game. It wasn't mining
they just did a shit
Bitcoin
job
or anything like that.
Oh no, that was they just didn't explain shit at all.
Yeah.
There was a mention of blockchain somewhere in one of their dev things, and people were like, it's doing Bitcoin mining.
It was blockchain as some way of telling if you have a legal copy of the game or some shit. It was nothing.
Yeah. Anyway. This video game, Epic Hero Battles, quote-unquote, a blockchain-based game, was trying to sell 10,000 NFTs, which, as we've talked before on the show, non-fungible tokens. Basically, you own a receipt that says you own a piece of art, but you don't own the piece of art, you only have the receipt, and it's really shitty for the environment, because it's blockchain shit, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and they're like, you can get a randomly generated hero and their pet, and then you can put them into battle to win prizes or more NFTs. It's like the Pokemon of NFTs, I guess. I don't get it at all.
NFTs, does that stand for no? Fuck that.
I mean, it should do. Here's the thing. They just straight up stole the key art from an indie game called Wildfire.
That's a choice.
No.
Yeah.
You've got some really creative people on the dev team when they're just straight up stealing assets.
Yeah, but it's straight up just the key art. If you take a look at Wildfire's splash screen page thing, then just take the word Wildfire off, add a filter, and you've got this art that they've been using for their Epic Hero Battles. So that's a thing. Also, Wildfire's a really fucking good game.
Yeah.
I've only played a little bit of it, but it's really good. It's about setting shit on fire. It's pretty great. Anyway, the developer, Dan Hinds, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, he called them out, and then they removed his art from their page and publicly responded. They said, "Hi guys, I want to tell you about the art that was used on the site. We got it from the web dev, but we didn't check it. Our mistake. This won't happen again, honestly." I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, it's never a good sign when you have to put honestly in your explanation for something. Because, clearly they understand the optics of what they're doing here.
And apparently there's, actually more stolen art as well for, apparently the game's Twitter profile pic is lifted straight from a different artist's Tumblr post and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah.
It's like wearing a name tag saying, "Hey, I'm a thief. Ask me about my work."
Here's the best way to get into the bank vault.
Yeah. Well, the last part of this is instead of having dealing with these allegations in any way, shape, or form, they just went and deleted their Twitter. the NFT dev. So.
They were like, fuck this shit, I'm out. I got discovered. Bye.
That was, yeah.
Fun fact, can I draw attention to the fact that in my chat I had Arby's helping me getting my fucking because my microphone wasn't connected, and in your chat some fucking wanker was like, "Hey, you guys should get real jobs and not talk about video games. Maybe Like fucking Christ.
See, I only
I
half
love
read it, and
Arby's.
see,
I
I
Arby's. I
we've
love
just
my corporate friends.
Uh-oh.
we've just had a Zoom drop, and now Sam and Zach had
Mine's
swapped
perfect. Eat
seats.
shit.
I
Yeah,
fixed
like gotta love the corporations.
Thanks, Arby's.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arby's, and also fuck you, like Twitchy Gamer.
I have a job. Thank you very much. I have 2 jobs.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
fucking mess of a person, but it's fucking everybody else's fault.
I'm
Yeah.
a code monkey for a living, so like I do have a real job.
Actually,
I miss
do
most of
have
that
a real job.
thing. So
I only
You have lots
work
of jobs,
3
Sammy.
I only work 3 hours, but also that's either way. Go fuck yourself. What about if instead of hanging out in our chats and just being an abusive dickbag, maybe you should get a job.
Wow.
The
Moving
burn
on.
from Sammy.
Moving on from one dickhead to another.
like I don't know. I didn't even get to see the full message. Anyway,
Anyway,
Off you go.
YouTube kills off the Discord music bots. So yeah, Groovy and I think it's Rhythm, but it's like spelled like slightly different. I think it's Rhythm, but like the first H is missing. I don't know
Why them?
why
Some
tech companies
people
hate
can't
like
spell rhythm.
yeah. I don't understand why tech bro companies have such an issue of just like, oh, there's too many letters, not efficient enough.
I'm sure that's the reason.
Well, yeah,
That's
we've got,
literally
like,
it. The
Tumblr.
more shit you have, that you got, it takes longer to
It's like
compile your app.
it's like the lexicon equivalent of those people who complain about the logos are getting too simple and minimalist.
Sure.
Think about it.
GTFO.
Think about it. In like 50 years from now, it won't be Google. It will literally just be the letter G. They'll just trademark the letter G. Anyway, moving on.
They already did for that logo, right?
So yeah,
the logo
YouTube,
is a G, yeah.
yeah, but like they won't even be called Google. They'll just be G. I'm
What's
gonna go
up,
G
G?
that.
G-Man,
Yeah, but then you'll get sued
wake
for
up and
that.
smell the ashes, Mr.
And
Freeman.
then they'll trademark GG, which means like go Google or something.
Oh,
And there'll be
God.
2 versions, and the
Go
old
Google
version will
it.
be called OG.
Ah!
Oh,
Gee whiz.
no!
Oh, we're gonna be here for 50 minutes,
Oh, jeez.
guys. Settle in. Anyway, so yeah, YouTube killed off some Discord music bots. Basically, the moon logic is like, well, they're really streaming our content, and we're not gonna get all the money or whatever. And yeah, they just killed them. So like, yeah, we can't have fun things because the corporations took them away.
Yeah, I think we talked a little while back about Groovy's incoming death.
Okay,
but I didn't know
Groovy's
about the
dead
other one.
now. The other one.
Yeah,
is
now it's
also-
actually gone. So I specifically remember mentioning that Groovy's main purpose was to come into your voice chat and then just ruin it in a pile of connection errors. So
all right.
I've not had a good experience with Groovy even once. It will always come in and just like ruin voice connection and just like turn everyone into robots, including the music it's playing over the top of everyone.
Yeah.
So
We need
it's
to all
just
get
so.
together around the vitriola to enjoy music these days. Young people. I'm the
Seems
youngest
legit.
one here, though, aren't I? Wait,
Right
am
I think
younger than
you
Zach
might
or
be.
not?
I don't know.
I'm
It'd be between you
29.
two.
On me.
Yeah, I'm the youngest person here. All right.
Turning 30.
Yeah,
30
that's a
and
good
30.
point. Flirty and 30.
Nah.
There you go.
Anyway.
All right.
what
Next.
else we got? Oh yeah, Blizzard
Oh,
sued
God.
by the ABK Workers Alliance. Thought I'd just roll this one in here because hey, that's an old classic. Yeah, so like the ABK Workers Alliance basically sued them because they're trying to like crush like dissent. No, I'm kidding. It's
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
Cross
unions.
the capitalism.
Yes, bow down to your superiors or whatever. Something
Comrade.
Marxism. And yeah, like they're just being shitty, and they should fuck off. I don't know. I didn't put where are my notes?
I mean, we did talk about this on Inconsolables episode B yet last night.
Yeah.
So
So they
the B side.
So
But
they
yeah,
said
it's
if they rule in our favor, the ruling will be retroactive and will set a precedent that no worker in the US can be intimidated out of talking about forced arbitration, which is fucking good.
Yes.
It should happen.
Yes.
Yeah, and basically, the union said that Activision threatened employees that they cannot talk about or communicate about wages and hours and working conditions. So yeah, like all this should be like overturned and like Godspeed.
I salute.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
In
Any
unsaluting.
thoughts, Zach?
Oh, look, yes, it's fantastic that they're suing them because it's the union busting isn't good. But as you said on News to Reviews last night when we recorded, yeah, it's like no surprise they hired, what was it the name of them, Wilma Hale or
Wilma
something
Hale.
like that.
Fuck her.
They come in to bust unions, and then lo and
Oh,
behold, yeah, they
Hale.
just did a whole bunch of union busting, so it's not surprising. But yeah, fingers crossed that this like setting of the precedent works out, because to get rid of forced arbitration would be great, because even though I know it's a lot of employees don't even realize that if illegal shit happens, they're still allowed to report it outside of the regular forced arbitration. They don't have to do it through their work. But I don't know, because they're forced to sign these NDAs and forced arbitration agreements, they just think they have to do it all through their own company, so everything can get swept under the rug, unfortunately. So yeah, it'd be great to see that sort of that practice done away with. And yeah, to as horrible it is for all this stuff to come to light, it's necessary in order to get rid of this awful culture there. And yeah, also that's necessary to get rid of the awful culture is to fire Bobby Kotick. He was either incompetent,
Yep.
and he had no idea this stuff was going on. He was ignorant to all of it, in which case he should 100% be fired, or he knew this stuff was going on and he did nothing about it over this entire period that he's run this company. And yeah, for that reason, he's incompetent and should be fired as well too.
I'd just like to see him fired. That'd
yeah.
be nice.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah. Hiring Wilma Hale? Oh, Hale, no. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Now that I've completely destroyed any discourse, moving on.
Well,
Yep. All right.
Mrs. Lalante wanted an excuse to talk about titties. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, Blizzard had decided to remove the titties from WoW, but
They did.
the
Delete
gender
titty.
marginalized shit is still happening. So
Yeah.
like it's like, hey, look, our body, we make things less
We're
titties.
so progressive.
We made people more covered up, and sometimes we just remove things. Look, we're doing good things in our video game, but we're still going to
Add
harass
close, delete
our
titty.
workers.
Very good.
Yeah.
That just tells me they have more respect for the digital women than they do for the real
Oh,
Yeah, seems legit.
Love it.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like I don't know what their thought process was behind that either, because like was there thought along the lines of like, hey, if we get rid of this, we can be seen to be actually doing something about the problems we have in our company, or was it just a deflection, or like what?
No, it's fucking pandering.
What kind of
bullshit.
thought process was there?
I have no idea.
I think it's just like they're trying to control the optics or some shit.
Let's get band-aids. We need band-aid solution. What can we do? Quick.
Yeah.
Distract. Quick. Where did we put the jingly keys? Oh no, we've lost the jingly keys. What now?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a big jingly key coming out this week, so.
So apparently, specifically, there's some in-game paintings of women that are now less revealing. Some have been removed altogether. There's a robed woman's image in Stormwind, which has been altered to cover more of her breasts. And there's a scantily clad reclining woman in Ravenholt that has met the same strange fate of becoming a bowl of fruit.
Far out.
Wait, they turned a character into a bowl of fruit? That's...
Yeah, so they just got rid of... they just changed a painting altogether. So there was a painting of...
Oh, it's a painting? Okay. I thought it was like an actual character that they just turned into a bowl of fruit on a table or some shit.
But does the bowl of fruit have, like, big round melons?
Big melons?
Yeah, probably just melons. Yeah, a fruitless attempt. Exactly.
Hey,
a fruitless attempt. Guilty.
Look, obviously, what they need to do is just create a sex culture roadmap, and then that's how they...
Oh my god.
Oh, because it's working so well.
It's on Ubisoft. Fuck.
Nice melons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. I did have a bonus trailer thing, but we haven't really set up the tech to kind of show it off. So I just want to call out. That's fine. We don't have time to. I just want to call out briefly as a really cool looking game, a game called Thymesia, and it basically seems like Souls / Sekiro, but you're a plague doctor.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I'm in. Yeah.
The
So
title
there's
makes
a
me
link in
think
chat.
It's a game about having legs that forget how to walk. I don't know.
I mean, is that what Thymesia?
No, that's
Is
Jimmy
Thymesia a
Legs.
real word,
You're
or
confusing that with Jimmy
Maybe,
Legs.
I don't know.
it's Jimmy Legs? Yeah, I don't know. I've googled Thymesia, and it's just like it's all about the game. So coming out on December 7 on PC, and I don't know about. I think consoles might be later down the pipeline. So, Goblin Cave is asking, is there a map to sex cults? Yes.
No. You
there's
just
a-
you take the sex culture roadmap and you just pull a U-turn and you just keep going.
How about you
All
just
the way to
stop?
Blizzard. That's the
It's
sex
a
cult.
romad. Just stop what you're doing.
Yeah, but the reference is they've got like a
Stop.
roadmap.
Get some help.
Ubisoft
Get out
have
of the
announced
car.
a roadmap
it.
to solving
Get
their
help.
sexual harassment problems.
Wait, what's the meme thing of that? Stop it, stop,
Get some
get
help. Yep. All right, let's talk about Vigimo games we did a play of.
Anyway,
Let's talk about Vigimo games we did a play
Vigimo
of.
games.
Zach,
Zach.
you're a guest.
Oh,
You get to go first. I know I've heard all of this before, and I bought it off the back of what you were saying. So
all right.
Yeah, far out. So yeah, Andrew, you're gonna feel like
really
you're stuck in a
hate it.
time loop right now.
I'm stuck in a death loop. That's for sure.
And for anyone who, because our episode of News to Reviews, or Andrew's episode of News to Reviews, will be coming out a day before this. So anyone who's already listened to that are going to be hearing lots of
Well,
similar.
for those who aren't
loop
on Twitch
jokes
anyway.
Yeah.
over and over
Time's
again.
weird.
So just get prepared, everyone, for that. I don't think there's any way I can stop myself, really. But yeah, let's get you guys all in the loop and talk about Deathloop. I love it. I love Deathloop. I am absolutely obsessed with Deathloop. Now, it's one of those ones I think was just sort of marketed to death. Sony hasn't had a whole lot to show off this year. So just every single event, it's like, here, there's more Deathloop here. So have a bit more Deathloop. And I don't know, I feel like everyone started feeling a bit of the fatigue. And I was definitely one amongst them. And Arcane, the developers of this, the Dishonored games never really grabbed me, and that seems to be the titles that most people point to when they are talking about Arcane, and the critics absolutely loved it. But for Deathloop, for me, this definitely has not been the case. That is for sure. I am bloody obsessed with Deathloop. Basically, the elevator pitch for this game is you play a character named Colt who's stuck on an island which is experiencing a one-day loop over and over again. And if you die, you restart the loop, or if you finish the entire day, the loop starts over again as well. And basically, you're trying to break out of this time loop, and in order to do that, you've got to kill 8 visionaries. And then, yeah, you can break the loop, and who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So
They want you to think.
It's a first-person shooter, but like roguelite due to the whole looping day mechanic, basically. Because yeah, you're playing the same day and the same events over and over again. But wow, unlike how I found Returnal, which is very much gone for the more arcadey, procedural generated kind of style, they've gone far more in they've jumped far further into the narrative. I find in Deathloop, where every single moment you're being fed dialogue between the main antagonist, Juliana. So basically, she'll be talking to you via walkie-talkie all the time, and the story's being fed to you that way. And the voice acting is fantastic, and the dialogue is great. And yeah, I'm just loving it so much. So basically, it starts off, you have lost your memory, but it is apparent to you that you have been living throughout this loop over and over again. This isn't your first loop, because you're seeing sort of writing scrawled around the place that's in your subconscious. You sort of figure out, oh, okay, it's my own sort of subconscious memory trying to give me clues about different things that are nearby and what's happening in the world, which is really cool. And also through your interactions with certain characters, because Juliana, you obviously have a history with her. She sort of blatantly tells you, yeah, this isn't your first loop. So there's this whole fascinating mystery and history behind all that. It is really, really cool. So yeah, basically, yeah, you're just trying to figure out how to take down all these visionaries. There's figure out ways to get them all in the right positions and the right spots to get it all done in the one night, basically. And so far, I think I've managed to kill like 2 visionaries or something like that, and yeah, but like obviously you got to get them all in one night in order to be able to complete to break out of that loop. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like the way I'm describing it, it's not sounding anywhere near as interesting as what I'm actually fighting. It is so fun. Like the combat in it is fantastic. Like it feels so fluid and fun to play. Like I'm playing it on PlayStation 5. And they've sort of like, they're doing the adaptive triggers, which it feels great with the guns. Like there's a certain gun you have. It's basically a nail gun, which is like a pressurized nail gun that you can use for sort of silent headshots and stuff like that. And you can actually feel the difference in the adaptive trigger when you're pulling down on the trigger on that one compared to if you're using like a pistol or a machine gun or something like that. And then yeah, you can sort of feel the haptics as different things happen throughout the world as well too. But yeah, gameplay feels bloody fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, and so Andrew, I know you purchased it, but you haven't had a chance to play it. Any of you
It's
guys
still
interested
installing.
in Deathloop?
Well,
at all?
that's concerning.
Well, no, it's because I think because I went into Final Fantasy after we did yesterday, so I closed Steam so I wouldn't lag myself, and then today I've been playing it, so I didn't open Steam, so it's only got 3 gigs left to download. But yeah, I'll play it this week because I've got time off work this week. So once I finish Shadowbringers, I'll probably give Deathloop a run.
Yeah. Oh, I'm absolutely obsessed with Deathloop at the moment. I'm loving it so much. Like there's information everywhere. And as you discover information, you retain that memory and you can use that information in your next run. So one of the best examples of this is there's one enemy who does a big fireworks display at the end of the night. And you think, oh, what a good sort of opportunity to take that guy out or cause a distraction would be to fuck with said fireworks display. But in order to get the code that you need to fuck with the fireworks display, you need to make sure that a shop which is going to be getting that code doesn't burn down later on in the day. But yeah, you have to discover that information throughout your playtime. So it's really, really cool how it works with the time loop mechanic there and how you can manipulate the world in order to get what you need to get done. And yeah, because of that, every single bit of information that you find is like, it's not necessarily crucial, but it's all helpful and helps you either discover something useful in the world or a useful way to take down a visionary. And yeah, I found myself just reading everything and listening to every single one of those bloody recordings and stuff like that. It's I love it so much. Oh God, yeah. Bloody
Deathloop. Lee's called out in chat that it's apparently got some issues on the PC version with stuttering over 60 frames a second.
Oh no!
Which is unfortunate. So
I've been playing with performance mode on PS5, and it seems to. I haven't noticed any frame drops on that, so it's unfortunate to hear that.
Yeah, it might just be a PC optimization thing.
That sucks to hear, because yeah, what the gameplay has been one of my favorite aspects of it. It just feels so fluid, like using the different abilities and stuff. Like you have abilities to turn yourself invisible, to teleport, to dash, and it's so good. It's great. And I love the art style. It's got this sort of 70s, and you know this from all the trailers if you checked out any of the previous stuff. It's like this 70s sort of spy thriller, I guess, sort of art style, where it's got that sort of style of music and everything fits that aesthetic. I love it. It's every corner of it is brimming with style. The music sounds great. The sound design's fantastic as well too. They got that 3D audio happening on the PlayStation 5, and it's really helpful for when you're sort of stealthing around and trying to take down enemies. Deathloop. I'm loving so much at the moment. Yeah.
This sounds like Returnal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm like sitting here and I'm like, yeah, this sounds like Returnal. Did you play Returnal?
I played Returnal.
Did you finish
it? I did not finish it. I found it far too hard, and Returnal is far more arcadey and less narrative focused. So, and Deathloop's far easier as well too. So Deathloop, literally, you're constantly having conversations with characters around you. You're hearing conversations around you in the environment, and it's the same environment that's repeating the loop over and over again. So during different parts of the day, different locations will be different. So say there's one area where if you go there at night, they're having a big party, but if you're there earlier on in the day, they're getting set up and prepared for the party and whatnot. Whereas, in a Returnal, every single time you're playing, it's procedurally generated and it's just mixing up the same areas, but just different sort of layout every single time. And you're not having sort of other characters existing in a living, breathing world like what you are in Deathloop, basically.
I wonder how this is all going to relate to 12 minutes.
So many
We're going to have the same twist.
This actually reminds me, I don't know if you are a fan of Zelda, but Majora's Mask is very similar in that you have the same events happening and then
we really are caught in a loop, aren't we?
Yeah,
we really are caught in a loop.
You are speaking Lockie's thoughts, Mrs.
Oh,
L.
okay.
Like, he loves Majora's Mask, and I never played Majora's Mask, so it's very, very, very similar concept. That's for sure. And it's being my first experience with it. I'm in love with it, and that heavy narrative focus, like the whole mystery behind it. Because as I said, you've already been on this island for a while, and you find that the stuff you find out about your character Colt. The more you find out, the more it entices you to find out more. And there's little bits and pieces of information to be found everywhere. The world design is great.
You're enjoying it.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it.
You know what it makes me think of?
I'm hoping to get it finished throughout the week. I'm hoping to have it done by hopefully the next episode of News to Reviews. I'll have to see how I go, because we also got Kena coming out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for that. It'll be coming out the day this episode's released. So yeah.
Well, actually, it's I've just had the thought of reminds me a bit of Hitman too, like the newer Hitmans, because like every time you redo the level, the same stuff happens in the same places. So as you learn the level and who does what, you can kind of interact with that, right? So
it's just one of those bullshit speed runs.
Well, yes, but also
just shoot a couple of things, walk around, and then leave, and it's just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
done. All right, bye.
Yeah, that's a very good way to describe it. Like, you definitely get Hitman feels from it for sure, especially with like a world that reacts to the things that you do, and you can literally cause different things to happen later on in the day. 100%.
Yeah. So Lee does have a question in chat here. He said that many reviews say that there's an element of this again. Have you really kind of experienced that?
I think, maybe luckily for me, I'm just too early in. I reckon I've put in, I haven't checked my exact hours I've put in, but I reckon I've played, I'd say at least like 10 to 12, something like that. And so far, I am not feeling that. I've found that every time I'm discovering something new in these levels. But perhaps towards the end, it's going to feel that way. I know the way, most reviewers play stuff is they try to knock it out as quick as they can in order to get the review out there. So I don't know, maybe if I did try and do that, but I'm really taking my time and exploring every part of the world. And I've found that to be endlessly fascinating. Maybe for other people, they might find it to get monotonous, but I think having the 4 different locations that will act differently throughout the 4 different time periods, because there's morning, noon, afternoon, and evening. That helps mix stuff up a bit like for sure. Sorry?
Do they have that kind of delineated out like that?
Well, basically, the way it works is when you are in a location, time won't move forward. So you can spend as much time exploring as you like. So say you go to Up Dam in the morning, you can hang out, explore as much there as you'd like. But then when you move to the next location, which you will have to do to progress things, find new information, progress the story, then it will move to the next time period of the day. So it's all about trying to basically... It's
like Danganronpa with that.
You're trying to get in and get out with as much information and resources as you can to help you eventually break out of the loop. Because the way they sort of handle progression is using Residium, which is basically a resource that you can lose. If you die 3 times, you'll just lose it all completely. But if you manage to finish that location that you're in, or finish the end of the day with your Residium, you can infuse items and powers and abilities. And that way you can take those into your next loop with you, which creates this whole really another aspect of it that I love, where once you've infused a bunch of stuff, you go into each location, going through your loadout and being like, oh, okay, do I want to go stealthy this time? Okay, I should use this ability, and I'll use like more of these silenced weapons. Or do I want to go in guns blazing and use my telekinesis and just bloody throw enemies off of cliffs and just get every enemy on my back within 5 minutes? It's up to you. And I've found it so far endlessly entertaining. I'll see how I go by the time I finish it. Maybe it'll get a bit monotonous. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Deathloop would
All
recommend.
right. All right, let's move on.
10 out of
Mrs.
10.
L and Skatebird.
Hey, I reviewed
Ready.
Skatebird on the PC. I was gonna say
Insert
PS4.
Tony Hawk's joke.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of those.
Tiny
jokes, you know.
Hawk. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
What is it?
Uh,
It's they call it an avian action sports game, made by the indie developer Glassbottom Games. They call everything burbs, and there's lots of burb talk throughout it. So if you don't like cute, adorable burb talk, don't worry, there is an accessibility setting for that.
Oh, cool.
You can.
Have you seen their Twitter?
No, I haven't.
It is all.
All
Well,
burb
yes,
talk?
but their Twitter account is all burb talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can actually turn it down and up. I think it's 0 to 10
Let's
burb talk.
investigate. What? There's a
Yeah.
slider of
Yeah,
burb?
there's a slider for burb talk.
Did you have it at maximum the entire time?
I started at neutral and then I slowly did it up just to see, because I was reviewing it, right?
I've got to experiment.
Yeah.
But did you ever put it down to minimum?
0. Yeah. But
All right, she's dedicated.
it's very impeccable and it's awesome. And I
Impeccable.
got to be my very next Tiny Hawk. So it's very cute. They don't they have lots of different burbs for you to choose from, so you can choose any species of bird. There's a lot.
She's not even intentionally saying burb at this point. It's just like
It's
reflex
just
at this
ingrained in
point.
her brain.
This is like some kind of like
It's like calling
Subliminal.
it a tune. It's a
Indoctrination.
burb. It's like
It's
calling it a tune.
indoctrination.
It's burb.
All right.
So you get your burb. The whole premise of the game is you're this tiny little burb on a skateboard, and they play with the size. So you're little, so everything's big, which is cute.
You know, a little tech
Yeah, the storyline goes across 5 different levels, and in each one you have to do different objectives. You're mainly helping your big friend, is what they call your human. And your big friend is never around anymore. They're always unhappy. The bedroom's always a mess. They hate their job, and they don't have enough time to spend with Burb Friend.
Yeah.
So we're going to help you. Burb's going to help. So Burbs go around and make the bed by putting balloons on the edge of the blankets so that the blanket will lift up and make the bed.
It's basically what it was like for Snow White.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
like all the beavers and shit doing chores.
Depressed Snow White. There we
Yeah.
go. I like
Clean up all of the the mold stains around by doing like what's the grab? Do a grab trick on the wall while you're holding a sponge.
What, like a wall ride?
Oh, like wall riding with a sponge.
Yeah, wall riding with a sponge to
Yeah,
clean
okay.
off the
I love
things.
How do birds do a grab trick? Do they use their feet, or do they use their
They put
feathers
their
just like
beak.
little hands?
They put their
their
beak on the board when they're jumping.
Okay.
You help them take out the trash by doing transfers on the cups.
Oh my god.
On the fast food cups. You end up wedging. You got to collect forks and wedge the window open so that Burbs outside can help you. And
It's a lot more like storyline-y / objective stuff than I
Yeah, so
expected here.
I'm
Because I
only-
played the demo and it felt just like a Tony Hawk level, like from old school.
yeah,
Right. With there were a couple of quests, but they weren't super contextual, right?
yeah. So this is a bird skateboarding game.
Jesus.
So it is a bird skateboarding game. It is very much like
need
Tony Hawk. It is very basic. That's the like. There's not like a plethora of tricks and combinations like in Tony Hawk. You've got your grabs, your manuals, your ollie, your flip. That's it. So there's not a lot in trick wise, but you've got to use those tricks to complete the objectives. So it's quite adorable. I enjoyed the cuteness of it. The helping the big friend was like, for someone who suffers with mental health, it was like, oh, this is
And
really
likes
sweet.
Disney.
Like we're helping our big friend. I won't give any spoilers towards the end. It just gets explosive. But I will say the biggest problem
Bird
with
blows up
this...
the house.
The
The house catches fire. Help the big friend put the fire out.
I bet it ends in the exact same way that 12 minutes does.
Oh no.
But if you are going to play this, and I just realized this is on Xbox Game Pass, so if you have Xbox Game Pass, you can play it now.
I already paid for it because I packed
The controls...
Yeah, me too.
The controls on keyboard and mouse suck. Just don't do it. Get a controller. I spent too much time trying to get it, but there's no ergonomic flow with it at all. Like, you got your WASD, and then you got to press T and then V and then like shift, and it's not worth it.
But
Controller
if you're using the controller, use the dead zone to make sure it's the right sensitivity.
Yeah, so that was the other issue I had with it. Fucking Glass Bottom Games has gone all out with accessibility, and that's the biggest thing I want to say. Like, it's in 10 different languages, and there's like 4 or 5 pages of accessibility options, which range from auto flips with ollies, remove the balance game for manuals and grinding, have bigger dialogue. There's a heap of accessibility settings there. And then when I actually had to get Sammy to help me with, I didn't understand the terms dead zoning with controller.
They do. They do 10 different languages, but they don't do simple non-gamer English.
So there's like 6 or 7 different like dead zone settings that you can have with camera and ollies and turning and push, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And I was having a really hard time because the slightest little touch would have me going flying. So I had to get Sammy to help me line it up properly, and I was able to get this one jump within seconds because I turned the dead zone up.
So did that actually improve it like a ton?
Oh yeah.
Like there was still because there were still issues like I kind of saw that you were having like before, but like good to see it's working. But just dead zone is like the area of the stick where it doesn't have an effect on the thingy happening.
So I mean, it would have been more fun if I didn't have to do that, or if I knew going straight in that I should set it up first. So that's why I'm telling you, go straight into the accessibility settings when you get in there and play around with it.
Better.
Yeah, like really have a play with it, because the story is worth playing through. I did enjoy it a lot. There's 5 to 8 hours of gameplay depending on how good you are. Probably less, like you'll fit it in there. And then once you've done that, there's the achievements and clothing items and mixtapes and skateboards to collect. And I forgot to mention the fucking tunes in this are great. This old school like ska music, and they've all got like so they've got like a document, like snippets of a documentary in the background. Is like, the heron is a large bird. It likes to nest in the spring. And like you got this ska track going, and then it's all like going on in the background. Yeah.
Ska and bird facts. Okay.
Yeah, it's
educational.
It's very educational. I got sick of hearing about fucking herons, I tell you.
So can you play through the story with someone else, or is it entirely single player?
It's a single player game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there multiplayer modes? Like, can you like, or is there like any pass the controller kind of a thing that you can do?
You could always just do that IRL.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know if that's on their plan. I mean, I guess because this was a Kickstarted game, they're probably gonna test the water first, and then Untitled Goose Game got a multiplayer, after release with the which I didn't even know because I played with my son recently. I didn't realize when you play multiplayer, it comes up and says Untitled Geese Game.
Oh, beautiful.
The title is changed.
Beautiful.
So cool.
Lee says, please let there be Skatebird as a band, and I am in pain.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this game. It was cute. I love the play on the... I don't know what the technical term is, but when you're little and everything else is big.
I Shrunk the Kids?
Yeah, the different scale, I guess.
Yeah, they really play on the scale. So...
A lot of games doing that at the moment, which I fucking love, by the way.
Bowls are half pipes, and, staplers are grinding ledges, and, pizza box is a ramp.
Very good.
It's very cute. It's worth playing. Server cables are grinding ledges. Yeah, it's great.
Oh.
Highly recommend on an Xbox Game Pass. Give it a shot.
Oh, Game Pass.
Nice.
Well, I think it's gonna. It's on the Switch as well.
It's on the
too.
Switch. Yeah.
I'm
Probably, yeah.
meant to be getting an OLED in October, so
Hey, 0.8 inches bigger.
yeah.
Yay.
Maybe I
I'm
should
so big
wing it
drags on
and give
the
it a try.
ground. Wing it.
Ah.
Since apparently Andrew's not going to ask, I may as well. Can you play as a duck?
No, there's no
No,
I don't think you
they're
can,
small
Oh,
verbs.
So
They're only small.
I wasn't going to
birds.
ask because I already knew the
so
answer
you're
in
in
my
the
heart.
middle of your angry email to the developers right now.
Oh, every day.
Technically, a duck isn't a bird, though, right? A duck is a duck.
Actually, I didn't know
Quack,
that.
quack, quack, quack.
All right, whatever.
So does that mean there won't be a
Yes.
goose in there either? No Untitled Goose crossover?
I mean, maybe in the future.
Mm.
Okay.
They
Apparently-
can't fit on a
It's-
tech deck.
You need a pretty big tech
Okay.
deck for a duck.
The ducks are
I
a
think that's called a
classification of
skateboard.
birds.
Ducks
so
are birds. Yeah, ducks
yeah.
are birds, but they
Yeah.
are big.
Of course they are. What are you on about?
Yeah.
Aquatic birds.
You drunk?
Yeah. They're big.
I
Though,
was
so
questioning
you'd have to have a
everything for
duckling.
moment then.
Duckling.
I
I mean, they're the ultimate. They're the
fish.
ultimate. They're the ultimate creature because they swim, fly, and walk.
Yeah.
They are.
I guess they'd have to put a
all-terrain.
whole different model in because the
Did
you
you
know,
know there's
all-terrain
no
birdies.
such
feet
thing
are
as a
webbed
fish?
and their beaks are billed. And
Sure.
every skin of the burbs in games are beaked and clawed foot.
Mm.
Did you know there's no such thing as a fish?
Really?
There was actually a person who did like a bunch of studies, like biological, ecological studies of fish, and basically was like, okay, we have like starfish, and then we have like whales and shit, like, and then we have plankton. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because they're so different.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Fish
that
make no
bullshit
sense.
aside.
Therefore, they are not real. Everything is a simulation, so he's right in one aspect.
I mean,
God,
yes.
okay.
Let's
Whatever.
move on with our lives,
Nothing's
shall we?
real, so that includes fish.
Sammy, tell us about Sherlock.
I played a preview of a game that I couldn't talk about last week, and now I can talk about this week, which mirrors the fact that the main thing that I played this week is something that I can't talk about this week. But
Oh, good.
I've just got a cascading line of like
Yeah, you
shit
just
on
got a
embargo.
queue of not allowed.
Perfect. But yeah, I played Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 preview last week. They've actually also announced a release date for that is November 16th, so 2 months. So excited for that. Admittedly, the one thing I'm like the most excited to talk about, I'm not sure if I can talk about fully because like they kind of had somewhat vague wording about it, so we're going to steer clear of that. But
Yeah, be safe.
excited because I think this is pretty cool. So interestingly, this is by Frogwares, which, fun fact, I did not know this. They've made 14 games and 8 of them are Sherlock games. And one of them is The Sinking City. So that's
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I know this company and not for a good thing.
Well, the thing is, and
Sinking City
and
was-
feel free to tell me if you disagree with this though. I think the mystery solving, apart from like I don't like the Lovecraft bullshit. I like the mystery solving.
I didn't find a mystery to solve.
Well, yeah, I mean,
The
okay.
mystery was, is this a game?
No, there were mysteries. The only problem is that literally the answer to all of them was, and then someone went crazy, which
Well, that's probably why it's like, I'm not really considering the mystery. It's like a couple of
Yeah.
puzzles to ask the right questions to the right people, but like it's a Lovecraft thing, so it's always going to be someone going crazy or a monster, sure, but
Yeah.
like it's always the same answer. They didn't even have any variation within that. You know?
Imagine, if you will, a version of CSI, but at the end of each of the mysteries, one of the Gil Grissom's turns to whoever's nearby and says it was bees, and then that's just the answer to the thing. That's basically what it's like. It was just like this completely ridiculous bullshit, and I hated it.
Not the
But
bees.
yeah, but like at the fucking but the thing is, the mystery solving was still sort of good, and so this is just like Sinking City, but then they just remove all the bullshit. Also,
They did Lovecraft dirty.
yeah.
Anyway.
So I kind of like this. I think like some of the time I think it's a little bit like almost too straightforward, which seems a bit weird, but it's just like there isn't a lot of puzzle solving stuff. Admittedly, I got to the very end of like this demo that was supposed to be 6 hours, but I played for 10, which fucking hell, that's an impressive length for a preview.
Crazy demo, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Are you sure it wasn't the entire fucking game?
Well, no, the full one's supposed to be like 40 hours, which is like, whoa, all right then. I don't know what the fuck Mrs. Hull's doing at the moment.
She needs to not be on camera for a moment, I assume.
All right, cool. Train of thought gone.
If she just turned the camera off, she would have yeeted all our boxes around. So
that's
true.
Oh,
okay, all right, makes sense.
Anyway, so I feel like some of the time it's almost a little bit too straightforward because it's just kind of like, it's just like awkward some of the time how there's not a lot going on in terms of puzzles. It wasn't until here's where I was last time at the end of like the 10-hour preview. I looked up one of the videos they sent me just to kind of maybe get a bit more of a beat on what I could and couldn't talk about, and then I realized, there's difficulty settings to make it harder. Also, very good thing that I found out is that there's also a setting where you can remove the combat, because fuck the combat. I fucking hate the combat. The good news is they removed it from like the main section, like they had in Sinking City, where just like, you press
like the open worldy thing.
Yeah, you press like K and it's like, oh, now I have a gun and I can shoot things or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But what they replaced it with is like, because like people might want to skip it, it means there's just like a fucking audible clunk between like, okay, Sherlock game, close, initialize Sherlock combat. Like it's just like this weird kind of like gap in the middle. And like the way that they have it set up is like you're supposed to like do like with finesse and bullshit, where you're supposed to like, shoot off their armor because it's like, Sherlock, he can do the slow-mo brain discombobulate, that meme.
Sure.
So what you have to do is you have to like shoot off their armor and like shoot like a fucking bag of flour or whatever to blind them, and then you can, run in and arrest them. Which is a great idea. The problem is they get really shitty about you killing people, which is annoying because a lot of them have, say, for example, like a little kind of Zorro mask, but like metal that you have to shoot off. And as I'm sure you can imagine,
on their face.
Yeah. Like there's not a lot of difference between shooting, here and shooting like here and then just killing them. Which leads
like a calculated risks to me.
Yeah. And that kind of leads into talking about John as a character, who you have as a companion, because he will have like a little diary and he'll like have like, he did this challenge that I set him, and it's like, that's cool. But then he'll also be like, I can't even look at Sherlock. He's becoming a sociopath. He killed someone. And it's just like, okay, cool. So like 12 people like rushed out of like fucking, random doors with shotguns, and I arrested all of them, but I shot one in the face because they had a face mask and I had to shoot that off apparently. And he's just like, I can't believe it. He's a sociopath. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Fucking I mean,
I'm over that part of it. But
the real question is, were there more rats spawning because you killed the guy? And did the game just get harder?
No, because like it has like I was taking the piss a little bit when I said like there's an audible clunk between the thing, but like they legitimately have areas that are set up that like you mostly don't do a lot of stuff in. It's like there's only one area that I saw where you can both investigate and also have like a shootout. And admittedly, like, as soon as the shootout started, I was like, oh, obviously, because like this is like, walls in weird locations and a bunch of like chest high benches and shit. Like,
there we go.
Yeah, look at all these items that are exact height that I am when I crouch. This big open area. I wonder if there'll be a shootout or a boss battle here.
I mean, the conflict's just
Why is there so much ammunition in this room?
The conflict's like boring though. Like it's like playing Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. You're just rolling around like a fucking idiot. And then just like, oh, cool, my slow-mo's like charged up. Now I can shoot this guy in the face,
probably never
but not
a
in
good
a lethal
sign
way.
for your for any aspect of your game, if a developer puts in a just skip this entire thing button.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, if I get it for review, like I'll put it on for like a little bit, and then like as soon as I'm past the tutorial, I'll be like, yeah, actually no, fuck that. I love the characterization of John and Sherlock. I think they kind of work well together. I think, you know, I don't know, like there are one or two good puzzles, but for the most part, like the mysteries are a little bit easy. But at the same time, I also am way more interested in this for like the mysteries and stuff that they're kind of setting up. So I don't know. I'm interested to try some of this shit out, but like, oh my god, like there are definitely some things that like annoy me a little bit with this. Also, I believe the working title for this was Sherlock Holmes : Oh no, he's hot. Because like he's like 20 in this, so like, you know, very kind of like,
Yeah, okay.
you know, getting the swooning market.
Sure.
John as well also, but you know, like a bit. He's got a bit more rugged charm.
Sure.
He's a very cute boy.
I'll believe it.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to focus on the mysteries?
Sure. Like how
Yeah.
to get that ass.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And there's, I don't know, there's other
Yeah,
bullshit that
that's-
happens. There's disguises and shit. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Oh, goody.
Even though it means I have to do like a little bit at the start, being just like, okay, let's be real. Sherlock Holmes was like a little bit racist and shit and kind of gross because, you know, it's hilarious though, because I did have one disguise that was literally just Sherlock Holmes, but in like a big coat. And he just walks up to someone and does like some really bullshit Turkish accent. I'm just like,
oh no.
Would someone like not look at this person and immediately be like, okay, you're not Turkish, like fuck off.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus.
Sure. All right.
But-
Well, let's move on. I played a little bit more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous this week. I was going to stream it like twice, and then I cancelled a lot of my streams this week, so it didn't really happen. So I'm still really enjoying the game. I don't want to spend too long on it because we're over time. But I do want to bring up an issue I had with it this week. Buggy as fuck.
Well,
I finally started experiencing bugs, to the point where the character I had created became completely unusable.
Giant tarantulas.
Giant tarantulas, yes. No, the other kind of bugs, the kind of bugs that break video games. So I was playing as a Magus, which is a melee-based caster who can, like, cast spells and then deliver them through weapon strikes. So kind of the main ability that character class gets is, I'm going to cast a spell, and then I'm going to hit you with my sword, and when I hit you with my sword, you also get the spell effects on you. So it's like, you know, combine them. When I was playing in turn-based mode, that literally did not work. I would hit spell cast, and my character would just stand there like a goofball and do nothing. And just proceed to do nothing at all, and didn't matter how many times I clicked it. If I flipped the game back onto real-time with pause mode, that it would work fine. But I wanted to play entirely in turn-based so I can actually, you know, do the strategy thing and play Pathfinder. I don't want to play Baldur's Gate with a Pathfinder skin. So I went and respec'd my character so that I could play a character class that fucking worked. Apparently, and Magic Man told me this morning that a new patch has come out, and in the patch notes they've called out that bug has been fixed now. I'm like, cool. So does that mean I have to, like, go back and re-spec my character back? Or what? I don't even... Anyway, that was annoying, but I'm still having a good time playing the game overall. I would probably say if you're worried about bugs, maybe give them a bit of time to finish fixing it. Because there's been, I mean, let me check my... Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous does not appear to have an update patch in my Steam at the moment, but there's been 4 patches since launch already within 2 weeks. So, like, they are working hard on the bugs, but a game that big, there's got to be a lot of them. Still less buggy than Cyberpunk. So, there's that.
It's not in beta or anything. It has launched, so...
No, it's launched.
Okay.
But yeah, it's only like certain areas that are buggy. The same thing happened with Kingmaker though, where it was buggy on launch and then it got really solid while they fixed it. So just give it a little bit of time. That's all. Now, Zach, did you want to talk about Fist?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk a bit about Fist. I don't know. Who here likes 2D Metroidvania games? Anyone? Any fans here? Not really.
I don't mind them. Paul would be the biggest fan, and he is not here. So, because he loves him some Metroid.
Well, Paul,
He almost died when Metroid Dread got announced.
This is for you, Paul. So if you want to play a very middle of the road Metroidvania, that
He might just wait 2 weeks for Dread, right? Like Dread's soon, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, just wait for that. Like this Fist Forged in Shadow. It was one that I was enticed by purely based on the aesthetic. It looked pretty cool, like action Metroidvania. You're like a steampunk rabbit. That sounds great, but I don't know. As I got playing, and I'm not someone who has a massive amount of experience with Metroidvanias, but I've played a few that I liked. I like like Yoku's Island Express. I tried out Ori and the Blind Forest. That was great. I've tried a few Guacamelee.
I was going to say, if you want a good Metroidvania, play Guacamelee.
Yeah.
That was great.
I've played a few, and so far I haven't seen Fist do anything that all of those games don't already do, and for the most part, probably a little bit better. Like there's things I like about Fist, like basically the weapons you get are really cool. Like your bunny will get like this massive drill eventually. You start off with like this massive fist, as the title of the game would suggest. And then eventually get like an electric whip later on down the track, which they're pretty cool weapon designs, and they all sort of play differently. But unfortunately, I found myself, once I got the drill, not really using any other weapons. I end up sort of just sticking with that, which I don't know. When you have a very combat heavy game, I feel like you want to have a game that makes you want to use all of the weapons. And yeah, so that definitely not a good sign for me. All the different executions are very cool, though. Each of those different weapons has a multitude of unique executions, and those are always fun to pull off and always interesting. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of how the game controlled. I just didn't think it felt that great to move around through this world. It looked pretty nice. It looked pretty cool. But yeah, like, I don't know, even like Rayman Legends, I thought was better. Like, fuck Ubisoft, but it's just a better Metroidvania game, that's for sure. Like, it just felt better to play, and I don't know. Yeah, Fist, I'm just not a fan of. They do a weird thing where they sort of do a mixture of like really cinematic looking high graphical fidelity cinematics, but then they'll cut back to you just sitting there in a static position, just with your characters sort of mouth flapping and voiceover with written dialogue below, in case you don't want to, you want to read rather than listen. And yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. Like if they stuck with those big cinematics just for one section, and then you go into gameplay, maybe it'd work. But they sort of switch back from this weird mouth flapping thing to cinematics, then back to mouth flapping, and I don't know, it just wasn't a great way to tell the story. And
yeah,
even with that, like the sound, not great. Like even in those cinematics, you'll hear, like, I remember there was a moment where this massive mechanical enemy will drop down, and there's just no sound for when it hits the metal, and it sort of just feels weird. You're sort of sitting there expecting it, and it just isn't there. So, like, for the most part throughout the game,
so I'd be very upset as a sound designer just watching this thing.
I feel bad. I've been so mean to this game, and there's things about it I do like, but I honestly just can't recommend it. Of every other Metroidvania I mentioned before, I think is a lot better. I think I don't know if it needed more work, or it just I don't know what it was, but like lots of cool ideas in it. But for me, very middle of the road.
Effort.
If you're desperate for a Metroidvania, I'd say wait for a Deep Sail, and it's like there's fun to be had with it, but it just didn't feel great to control. I didn't find the world that interesting. It was okay, and the writing and the story was very meh. I don't know. Yeah, Fist. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Well, hey. Let's move on. Sammy, Psychonauts 2.
Oh wait, is there anything else, Mrs. L?
There's more you
want to talk about? Yeah.
Magic released the new Innistrad set, but I don't have the energy to talk about it.
Fair.
Yeah, totally fair.
The post-vaccine blues, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll
I'm
keep
just.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright. I'm just managing Dizzy Spell.
Cool. So I'll keep this
Yay.
nice
That's
and
right,
quick so we can
let's-
get to the end so we can So I'll just
Yep.
quickly mention, been playing a bit more Psychonauts. I think it's still really cool, but I'll probably be talking about it way more when I've actually finished it. But, you know, I'm having a good time making some reasonable progress in it. So, cool game.
Cool. Now, to me, I'm still playing Final Fantasy XIV.
Okay.
I'm getting towards the end of Shadowbringers now, so I'm almost like up to date plot-wise.
I
So
think you've passed Ellie and I.
really, I thought Elliot bought a story skip though.
Did you say Shadowbringers or Stormblood?
Shadowbringers.
Yeah, we're working through Shadowbringers together. She
Oh,
skipped
okay. So you
Stormblood.
only skipped Stormblood. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'm probably about, according to like I've just got like the quest list open, so I kind of know vaguely whereabouts through I am because I hit level 80 way too early.
Nice.
So it's like 80 astrologian doing level 75 quests. Cool. But I'm like just reaching the level 78 region of the quest of the main quest line. So yeah. Anyway, that's a thing. I'll probably be finishing Shadowbringers sometime in the next few days.
The story is very interesting.
Shadowbringers has gotten freaking wild.
I know. You probably
Yeah.
know more than me, but we're
It gets wilder. Anyway, yeah, we won't dwell on it too much. We're back to Zach with Lost at Random. Did you have want to be? Yeah, quick.
Yeah, very, very quick. Lost in Random. I don't know. It's all right. Deathloop's better. Play Deathloop. Yeah, how's that for quick?
There you go.
That's a bit rough.
Sorry, I feel bad because these are like the only indies I've played recently, Fist and
Isn't
Lost
that
in
nice?
Random. But I know with things like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut to play, and then now Deathloop,
God,
I don't
again.
want to. I don't want to touch them at all. That's all. Those
It's
are the
interesting.
only games.
Ghost of Tsushima, another one.
Lost in Random was one I was looking at trying to review as well because it looked very Nightmare Before
This
Christmas.
looks-
Tim
Reminds me of
Burton-esque.
Coraline.
The dice
Coraline.
element is really cool. As soon as you find your die and you start getting to play around with the card mechanics and stuff like that, a lot of fun. I thought that was really cool. But
Cards.
yeah, like I've just got too much other stuff I want to play right now.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on playing more Lost in Random though. That's for sure.
mm.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess this brings us to our final segment. Oh my god, I only just for the first time saw the art Sammy put for the little current topic. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raptor, why is this a thing, I guess? So, I think Zoom may have, like, faded you out partway through on that. I don't know what's, yeah, I don't know.
And also, once again, shout out to Zoom for doing the. I hear that you're playing music. Really great, lovely music of the sirens.
Well done,
Really the
well done.
music of the spheres.
Alright, so according to the doc, Sam has one. I also have one. I just didn't fill it in the doc because I'm
and
a
it's
bad
gonna
person.
be the same one. It's the fucking game, the fucking Queen's Gambit game. Bullshit.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, I have a different one, actually. So
oh,
go and talk
okay.
about Queen's
Oh.
Gambit.
So just
Zach, you know mine.
Yeah,
So
I
just go on an imagination journey with me for a little bit.
Mhm.
Imagine that you're like
Hopeless
a
Nights.
someone who is working with Netflix to make board game adaptations of their properties, and
I
you're
love-
like, okay,
yeah.
we're gonna make a version. We're gonna make some kind of board game that is representative of the Netflix show Queen's Gambit. What would you make? What would you make? Do you think you'd make for Queen's Gambit?
A chessboard?
See, well, you're correct on that front. There's a chessboard involved. Is it chess? Yeah, no,
Oh.
really. So, like, basically, I think like the fucking game that they made is like some kind of weird. I'll fucking link this shit so like people can check it out. I'll put it in all the chats and shit so everyone can
The board
play
game.
along at home. But it's like this weird thing where you like get cards and you can like choose to put like you choose like 3 cards or something, and those are kind of like, here are the 3 moves that you've planned out, and then you put them down, and then I think you play it. Like, I don't think you even like are capturing kings and shit. I think you're scoring like points and shit. I'm like,
Why don't you just make a chessboard with the pieces being characters?
yeah, like that would be the
Yeah, I know,
logical
right?
thing. Fun fact: this company also made like a card phone game based on like Black Mirror Nosedive, which is a bit sad, but I guess that exists.
Guess it took a nosedive.
See, I thought you were going to talk about how Queen's Gambit is getting sued.
Okay, go on. Go
You
off,
didn't know?
sis. Go off, sis, as they say.
I think I saw something briefly about that, but I don't know any details.
Yeah, so
What
they're
you
getting
talking about,
sued
Phyllis?
for over $5 million for a grossly sexist line in the series.
Okay. I mean, isn't it supposed to be a show that's about like a woman succeeding in a man's world kind of thing?
Yeah, but the actual chess player
like
known
the
as
estate of the person, like sued or something.
Gapradeshvili or something,
All right.
apparently was said. Hang on.
Wait, isn't this a fictionalized version though? Like, isn't this semi-autobiographical or something?
Yeah.
As opposed
I
to,
think
like,
that was the
fully,
thing. I think there was something to do with their estate getting involved with, like, this isn't right or something.
This
Yeah.
represents my father.
Lee sent me a link regarding. There you go.
In the
Netflix sued for $5 million over grossly sexist line. Ad blocker detected. Fuck off website.
They brazenly and deliberately lied about her achievements for the cheap and cynical purpose of heightening the drama by making it appear that its fictional hero had managed to do what no other woman, including Gapradeshvili, had done. Okay.
Okay. Welcome to the world of television, sweetie.
So,
like, that happens all the fucking, like, literally even documentaries don't have to fucking like fully adhere to the truth. They can just kind of do whatever version they want.
Something Tiger King.
Okay, so the original chess player by 1968 had already by this point in time played and defeated many men in chess, including 10 grandmasters.
Yes.
So because they had it as like the...
It wasn't technically accurate. This
Anyway.
woman couldn't be that good at chess.
Well, speaking of suing people who make stuff,
Okay. This will be. Is it another dildo?
No, what?
Oh.
It's not a Bowser?
No, another Bowser.
Oh, no, we're not talking about the no, that I don't think they were suing in that. That was just being thrown off for copyright.
Oh.
No, this was so there was this is Genshin Impact. So in Genshin Impact they were doing they had a beta for a new character named Raiden.
Oh, is this
something
kind of,
like that?
You
and,
insulted my waifu kind of bullshit.
Kind of, I guess, if you want to interpret it that way. No, but in the beta, they were testing out the character, and people had gone and spent money on unlocking said character, all that kind of stuff, and she had moves that had a good synergy with another character, and the entire thing with Genshin is you need to swap between your characters and combine elements, attacks, and all that kind of stuff. The character then came out for real, and they didn't interact. Those abilities didn't interact with the way they did in the beta or the way that people expected them to, and so some Chinese guy has decided to sue the company based off the character being misleading.
God, that's so
in
dumb.
beta.
Shut up.
It is so dumb.
Get a life.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I don't even want to give the energy to comment on this, so
Yeah.
It's the exact same energy as that one dude who fucking review bombed AI Somnium Files and then was like, oh, actually it was me the entire time.
No.
You fool. I don't know.
This is as dumb as the Twitch viewer who sued the female Twitch streamers for maiming his own penis because he couldn't keep his hands off his own dick.
Yeah, it was saying it was like the dude with a fleshlight or something, and it was just like, this sounds like you went. We were talking about how it sounded like he wasn't cleaning it or something, right? But and Elise pointed out, and I mean it's the same comment. A similar comment to what I'd made on news reviews yesterday. But spending money on a gacha character in a beta is the dumbest move, and you can get what you deserve, right? Oh. You're spending money to get a character when it's still in beta and being tested. Come on.
It's sad.
Anyway.
That's just a really sad thing. Why would you do that?
Yes. Anyway, on that note,
and also presumably the moveset doesn't change. The degree to which you want to have sexual intercourse with them.
I mean, I'm not going to... That wasn't mentioned anywhere in said articles, so, go ahead. Anyway.
I'm editorializing.
Yeah, clearly. Anyway, time to wrap it up for the day, I think.
Time
Thanks
to
for coming on, Zach.
Stop it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm
Put it in
sorry.
the
I've been so hungover. Perfect time to jump in front of a Twitch audience and YouTube for the first time since, wow, the first time I ever guested on a podcast. So, yeah, but thanks so much, guys. I had so much fun. It was great to see all your faces again. I always love to come back here and get to talk games on the show. That's for sure. Oh, yeah. Especially Deathloop. Oh, it's great to talk about that again.
And so go ahead and remind people where they can find you.
Oh, yeah. You can check out News to Reviews wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Be sure to listen to the episode that would have come out yesterday by the time this goes up. You'll be able to hear Andrew host the show, basically, due to my technical difficulties. But hey, probably a good idea because I was so drunk off cocktails anyway.
I was pretty hammered by the end of the night too. So
But yeah, and then search news to reviews on all the social medias. You can find us all there. Give us a follow and all that. Thanks very much.
righto. And Sammy?
Hey, you can find me at Twitch and Twitter at SammyD, SammyDWGGE. Yeah, I'm also doing music, I guess.
Sweet. Mrs. L?
I am on the internet at MISLLANTE. You can catch me here. Hi. And on
Yay.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Yay.
You, Andrew?
And then for me, Twitch, Twitter, Kalgar, Kalgar. Collectively, Inconsolables. I mean, you're already if you're listening to, I didn't turn off the freaking shout out thing, so now that's going to appear in my goddamn video.
Perfect.
Anyway, it's also appearing under the Paul Not Found image. There's some weird bugs going on there. That's great. Okay. I have completely lost my train of thought. Collectively, stuff. I mean, you're already listening / watching us, so like
Continue.
that. Do that. Hit likes and shares and reviews and all that kind of stuff. And I guess we'll catch you next week.
Game spots. Cheers.
Anyway, we'll catch you all next week. And yeah, I think who am I gonna send raid lottery? Yeah, all G Lee. It was my bad, but having that in this, that should not be in this scene at all. It's been removed now. Solving the problem now. Yeah, I was thinking I'd probably raid Dash Ducks actually.
Sure, I don't give a shit.
Let's raid Dash Ducks. All right.
Let's go see. Thanks to you.
Quack.
This is just on my background all the time now.
Yep.
It's just this fucking ducks. But there was a cute one with a little fluffy hat this morning.
Disclaimer: it is not a stream of ducks fucking. It's the ducks eating and sleeping.
I mean,
You said
there
fucking
could-
ducks.
There could be fucking ducks.
I mean, I guess they could.
Fuck a duck.
And
I
there's
said
geese.
dashing ducks, and I just thought of I don't know, very handsome ducks.
Anyway, I'm going to pop on our promo / end screen for a moment, and then we're going to go raid Dash Ducks. So if you've got the emotes, spam the crap out of them, particularly mine because they're ducks as well.
You can't chat
So-
unless you're a subscriber.
Rip.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
Or are they on emote only or whatever at the moment?
They're
They tend to do
always-
that
They get
overnight.
hate rated. Fucking
Anyway,
Dash Ducks
I'm going to hit the thing and then we're going to
hate
raid them.
Thanks,
Blah, blah, blah.
Kerbrand. Thanks,
Ciao.
Law. Thanks, Lee.